Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate, Uncut and After Show. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they premiere. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Speaking of Patreon, I'm going to do a quick shout out to all of you who do support me on Patreon. So a massive shout out in reverse order to Tom Hawkins, Tina Baker, FlatEarthChannel.com, Texas Mike, Skeptic936, Sam Hine, Sally Ballis, Rune Reinhardt, Qatar, Naibai, Matt, Life is Short, Kirsten Smith, Joshua, Jeranism, Godrockin, Fireball X, Felix Hung, Edwin Johnson, David Wayne Foster, Dave Rakia Gafford, Dank, Chow Young Cat, Burn Fat Till My Stomach Is As Flat As the Earth, Billy Highvault, Alistair Main, Adrian Quintana, and Abraham Mohammed. Massive shout outs to all of you for supporting me on Patreon. Now we're currently in the in-between stages between two live shows, so I'm going to raise the mic on both G Plus and Discord, and you can enjoy their dulcet tones as I set up for the second live show of the day.
Yay! Before John goes live,
of course, I get rumpus right away by Arwen. You just can't help yourself, can you?
I had a really good news for you. Just a little something.
Just hold off.
Hold off the good news.
Okay, fine. Start out with the bad news. Go ahead, John.
Nathan Oakley.
Hello?
Yeah. I was just about to make a really good point. I'm looking at my clock here. I said, I'm pretty safe. I got 2 minutes left. And you round out the show.
Oh, you can't leave it with 2 minutes to spare. I tend to round out between 55 minutes and an hour. Maybe a little bit over a half a minute or so if it's over an hour and I haven't managed to squeeze it in. But I want to round out on a nice consistent point, and I thought that had been done. What was the point that you wanted to make? I'm really sorry.
That wasn't a point. No point was rounded out. The point was he was talking about the brain dead ballers with their feeble appeal to latitude lines or changing latitudes with the Coriolis effect. Now, do we observe the Coriolis effect on a roundabout? Yes or no?
Yes, we do. If you have a drone or you throw a ball, it leaves the spinning roundabout, moves in a straight line, and you continue to rotate underneath, then absolutely you will observe the not actual force called Coriolis force.
Thank you for that closed question answer. Are there latitude lines changing latitudes on a roundabout?
No,
yeah,
only pendulums, like according to Zinder.
Well, you could arbitrarily draw some lines and say that if I throw the ball from the outside edge to the inside edge, that it's traversing those imaginary lines.
Oh my God.
Well, what's wrong with that? That's true, isn't it?
There's no latitude lines involved. There's no direction involved with the Coriolis effect. If the spinning reference frame is all you need, you standing on the spinning reference frame, I don't care where it is, and you throw something or something moves in the non-inertial reference frame. Or, I'm sorry, I got it confused too. Jeez, oh man. I'm done with it. Go ahead, Arwen.
All right. Yeah, I had some good news for the intro we were working on. So 10th Man and me have been brewing a little plan in the background and wrote a little text. And Karen B actually kind of said that she would narrate it. So you are going to get the most epic little intro for your show ever to hit YouTube.
Well, you forgot one piece of the puzzle here, and he's sitting right down to the right. He's called the Adam Meakin. Adam, do you hear that?
Right. Now, his look, what he did for my show was epic as well. And by the way, yeah, did Adam make your Terminator a moving background thingy?
Yes, he did.
Wow, that is awesome. Okay, right. That is really-
Adam. Hey, Adam.
he's on mute.
Yeah, because it's already done.
What?
Yeah, it's already added.
The thing from Karen B?
No.
Oh, but yeah, well, trust. Oh, maybe it's gonna be a what is it? A sneak peek kind of thing then.
Yeah,
But
because
it's gonna be epic, dude. It's gonna be epic.
he already did the work. What I'm telling you, it's already added to the intro. The new intro is the new intro.
All right.
So you have to get with Adam since he took a break right now.
No, this is my own standalone creation. Well, with the help of Karen B, of course, for the narration. And let's just make it into a trailer for your channel.
Hey, Adam.
Adam's busy doing a live auction. Since I wanted his hat, he decided to start a side business.
You?
Hey, Arwin.
Oh.
Setting up the next show, which is why I'm not very chatty. I'll be with you shortly. But don't stress yourselves about keeping any audiences that might be listening amused in any way.
Why? You just cut it off.
I've just started the pre-show, and this, as you well know, on a Thursday, second show goes out live on the second channel. But this bit, the most important bit, has got to keep the audience gripped so they might stay for the next 2 hours. But, you know, dead air, who cares?
Well, if Adam was here, you know, not just his icon, maybe we could get some work done.
Redkin, you're causing a bit of feedback, my friend.
I don't want to provide any gift eruptions, so I'm on mute.
Okay.
Stay on mute.
I'm on mute.
Okay, I'm going to stop setting up the live show because clearly that little hint didn't work. Well, wasn't that a wonderful show? It was so nice that we had all of those equivocation fallacies and all that garbage proof of Earth curve, wasn't it? Just great.
Yeah, and latitude lines on friggin' roundabouts. Yeah, it was special.
That was the
So
best
there's
when we asked Zinder when he was trying to argue Coriolis for the pendulum, and we asked him, "Is the pendulum crossing latitude lines?" And he said, "Yes, I think."
So there's
But
no
don't you guys
equator
know-
on the roundabout?
God, did someone from Discord have something to add?
God, can I ask QE, like, could you observe water finding its own level? Would that be a valid observation?
As in,
Of
is
a
water
natural
finding its own
phenomena.
level a natural phenomena? Is that what you're
Yeah,
asking?
is water finding its own level a is that what establishes the horizontal, or is it another way? Because that's what I imagine would be the initial measure of horizontal, the water level. Surely that's been observed and tested, has it? Would it?
Can I have a stab at that?
QE doesn't want to answer. Did you want to answer? It was directed at you, Quantum Eraser. I think I think he might have buggered off. Go ahead, 10th man.
Yeah, I never see water seeking a curve. What does that prove?
It's not his
I say
question.
it doesn't,
From what I
does it?
understand, Bev, are you asking, would the fact that fluid dynamics dictate that water finds its own level, or finds and maintains level, would that be
Yes.
classed as a natural law or an observed phenomena for which you need to establish cause? I think that's what you're kind of trying to ask.
Yeah. Could you science that observation? Is I guess what I'm asking, or has it already been scienced?
I'll ask Adam. You there, Adam?
Because they keep going to the equilibrium state of liquids, right?
Sure.
So to me, that would be horizontal. You know, that would be a water level.
I don't. Yeah,
Would
absolutely.
establish a horizontal line.
Yes,
so,
it does. You're not wrong in that. You can make that assertion all day
Yeah.
long without any challenge because it's absolutely factually accurate. But what I read into your question was, at the point that you establish that as a phenomena, can you then go forth to establish why does water seek and find its level? As in, the effect is water seeks and finds its level. What's the cause? Now, I'm racking my own brains going, well, no, isn't that just like something that you would describe as a natural law, like gas law? It is what it is. You're never going to establish the cause of why water finds its own level. So I don't know which category would it fall into. Would it be within exploration of science? And at face value, I'd say yes, it's a natural phenomena. Why wouldn't you be able to put it through the method? How would you establish it? That's definitely well beyond my reasoning at this point, because I don't know how to conceptualize a presumed cause of water finding and maintaining its level. I don't know why that is.
Yeah. Well, I'm just guessing that now that water, you see, like a level is a tool for establishing a horizontal line as dealt by with surveyors, right? Now, sea is also called level. Water's called, like water level and the sea level it's the same use of the word level, which is a horizontal line. It's natural to me. It seems like I don't have any problem with that. But the only reason I don't have a problem with it is because I don't have a model that I have to wrap it around.
Exactly, Bev.
Yeah.
And like in no way ever is level mentioned as having a curve or a bend or anything. It's a straight line, horizontal. I don't know if you get anybody to disagree with you on that.
Oh man, you missed the Discord yesterday then.
Oh no,
Yeah,
I know.
I was on
Like
that. I was on
normal people wouldn't that they need to work that fact onto. They have a problem with it, big time.
Yeah. They need level to be curved. So yeah, it's the fundamental premise of their religion. So yeah, they definitely can have an issue
You mean
with
like
that.
Xanax image? His little drawing
Yeah,
of
that
flat
one.
but not level, level but not flat. You guys seen this?
I can
Red's Rhetoric's tilted shelf.
Oh, you're back. Can I just ask a quick
No,
question
it's
that came
actually
from
worse.
this? Sorry
Hold
to
on, I'll
interrupt,
post
Chocolate.
it in Skype. Hold on.
Sorry to interrupt. Now you're back, QE. I was just about to start a live show, but I won't. Just so this question gets asked, hopefully now. So the question came: fluid dynamics is the subject. So the assertion that water finds and maintains its own level, could that be classified as a natural phenomena for which you could science the cause?
Go through it.
Well, we've already got half of it. Dependent variable. Natural phenomena. Observed. Water finds its level. Presumed cause. Fucked if I know.
The prosecution rests.
Right.
So, would this... Well, is there a law? Is fluid dynamics a law?
You asking me?
Yeah, is fluid dynamics then... Is there natural laws regarding fluid dynamics?
I'm eating breakfast. 1 second.
That doesn't answer the question.
Okay, is the inquiry a what is question or a cause and effect question?
Cause and effect. The effect is water's finding and maintaining its level. I want to know what the cause of that is. It's a cause and effect question.
I don't think so.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, nuh-uh.
I kind of don't think so either. Because I'm setting up the live show, I can't dedicate enough of my brain power to think about it. I haven't got enough multitasking ability. Run out of RAM.
And I'm eating breakfast.
Fair enough. Hopefully we'll cover it on the live show, Bev. It's a good question.
We can also cover Xanax saying, I'm standing at the mouth of the Mississippi and the water's flowing around the curve towards me. We can address that on the live show as well.
Sure. I'm up for that. So this show now, the one we're recording right now, goes out on tomorrow's main show on the Nathan Oakley 1980 channel, just so you know. So just in case there's any confusion amongst the panel when I'm referring to tomorrow, it's because this now isn't actually going out to anybody today, what we're recording now. But in a minute it will be, because it'll be live.
Paul, do me a favor. Go to Master B if you could, or Arwin, or whoever can. And I just posted Xanax little illustration.
I've actually stepped away from my Chromebook. I'm out taking a walk with Lily, so sorry.
All right, no problem. Maybe Arwin could hook it up. Presented.
Talking about yourselves, I've just made a cock up.
I got it. John with his new. I'll say John with his new computer might be able to pop it up. I'm not know how to do it.
John is currently stuffing his face with bacon and chocolate milk. So
I got it up.
He's indisposed.
Chocolate. I got it up.
Yeah, cool, thanks.
You want to talk about it? Hold on, 10th. Did you want to talk? I've got it presented to the audience, but I've just made balls up, so I'm going to have to take a couple of minutes to sort something out. If you can talk about it, it's on screen.
Oh, I just wanted to point out that this is what, in the minds of the Globers now, that this is what level means. This is the proof that level is curves. Because he's got one with the curvy line saying level but not flat. And then he's got another one that says flat but not level.
He's a frigging moron. That first one's not level.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
And then the second one, flat but not level. No, the surface of that line is smooth. That line isn't level either, you physics forum Fukuyama crayon muncher quit.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcomed back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show on Facebook and Twitter. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, how dare you? Then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. Now we are joined by the Adam Meakin, who's it with the screen share? I can't see who that is. Oh, Righteous Force. Paul, Quantum Eraser, Chocolate Sane, Arwin, and 10th Man in G+, and we're also joined by a whole bunch of people in Discord. So welcome, one and all.
Hello, hello.
Good morning.
All right, we might as well deal with this picture. You got this up on screen?
I can have it. Yeah, so just for the audience who've just joined us live's benefit, this was being discussed in the pre-show. This is a still provided by Zanuck. I don't know if it's stopped working, Righteous, but I can't seem to get it up on screen anymore. There we go.
Is it up on screen? Is the diagram up on screen?
It is now. If you just goes back to it, I've just got like all of your different screen share stuff. There we go. Perfect. If you can make that big. Here we go.
Okay, people. This is a screaming testimony of abject moron. A third grader would laugh at this. Let's take a look at the upper part of the diagram. He's saying that this line, this swerving line right here, is level. Is this level, people?
No.
No, it's not level. Duh. This is so moron. This is, like I said, it's a screaming testimony of the intellect that we're dealing with here, people. If you're new to Flat Earth, this is the quintessential example of complete moron right here. So we've taken a look at the top part of the diagram. Let's take a look at the bottom. He's saying that this line is flat but not level. No. You see, the surface of that line is smooth. That line is not level. What's the definition of level? Anyone?
Well, it always has something to do
Horizontal.
with horizon. The etymology of it is that typically it has to be horizontal to the level to the horizon.
No point on that line should be higher than the other. That's what flat and level means. Let's take a look at the bottom part of the diagram. Is there a point, any points on this line that is higher or lower than any other point? You, sir, are an ICD-10 full-on F-72 code. You need to go find out what that means. And somebody needs to call a 1-800 number, ASAP, to come drag you away. These people are abject Dunning-Kruger morons. Thanks.
Yeah, when I looked up the etymology of level, it always had an association with the horizon, horizontal. So that's whenever I look it up, that's what it came up to. So ancient, old definitions of it.
Having no point higher than another. That is level or flat. Flat and level are synonymous. Level equals flat, flat equals level. Okay? My word. Why would I even have to explain this?
Oh, I can answer that. Because we have fundamentalist religious zealots who believe they live on a spinning ball flying through a sky vacuum, and the Earth that presents itself to us is flat or level, and they need their reification of their sphere model to be superimposed onto a flat and level Earth that we actually experience. Therefore, to reify their curved globe model, which they claim is in a vacuum in their reified version of our world, they need to make flat surfaces bend. They don't. That's a problem. Hope that answers your question.
Did anyone check to see if that mouth-breathing knuckle dragger posted this on his high school physics forums yet?
Nope.
Can somebody go on those high school physics forums and post this in lieu of? Just say, this is from Zanuck and post it in there. Let's get the responses.
I actually like that idea.
I'd be willing to do that.
Yeah, let's see what the middle school physics forum posters make of Zanuck's assertion that a curvy line... He did assert it was flat. I can't see it anymore, goddamn. Stupid Hangouts isn't sharing if I move away. I don't know what you did last time to
No,
get it back.
it was level but not flat, the top one.
Level but not flat.
Yeah.
Level? What,
Wibbly
curvy line?
wobbly level.
Curvy line, right.
Yes, the curvy lines are level. This
And they're
is the
saying
state
the
of
plane.
affairs.
They're saying planes fly level over a curve. So, that would be parallel, wouldn't it? Not level, right?
Parallel? No, that's two lines
Yeah,
running alongside one another.
I asked him in the dictionary, in one of the versions of level had like an aeronautics saying an aeroplane flies on a level flight path, and that's curved. So according to Zanuck, that level flight
They're
path.
trying to equate level with parallel.
That's what I hear. They're trying to equate level with parallel.
Right.
Yeah, but as QE has mentioned, 1 hour flight at 500 miles per hour, the pilot would have to nose down over 2,700 feet per minute, and that never happens.
Yeah, but
Hey, don't worry about the nose down part. That has nothing to do with it. It has to descend 2,777 feet per minute at 500 miles per hour. No matter what it does. It can barrel roll. It can do-si-do. It's got to do something to descend that amount if you live on a spinning ball space monkey religion.
QE, didn't you know there's these plumb bobs inside aircraft that keep it level over a curved surface? There's this plumb bob thing. I heard them talk about that yesterday too. Plumb bobs and Lite.
That's fine. What color were the trains?
What the hell? Plumb bobs? You having me on? You saying that the
No,
pilots...
they talked about a plumb bob keeping the plane flying level.
So what you're telling me is they're using furry dice in the cockpit?
Wow.
Loaded on one side.
Natural phenomena.
I know they were trying to equate the Schuler tuning inside the gyroscope. I knew that's what they were trying to equate it to, but I get the principle's the same because the rocking of that Schuler tuning keeps the plane, readjust the gyroscope. So it's still a plumb bob. The idea is a plumb bob.
So what's the point? The point is, while any crayon munchers on the plane, right? Here comes the punchline. You ready? You'd feel it. My word.
But QE is so gradual. It's so slight. It just does it so slowly. You won't notice it. Come on now, QE.
Apparently, these guys do a lot of moving and not feeling it. I don't know. Maybe their equilibriums are out of whack or something. I don't know. A little weird.
They're looking more stupid and stupider each day, defending something that isn't real.
They say some silly stuff when faced with a horizontal level.
Hey, Bev, how many times did Zanuck change the definition while we were in that discussion yesterday? Did he change it like 3 or 4 times, and you kept trying to hold his feet to the fire on it?
They've wrote new descriptions for us, haven't they, on the fly?
Well,
what was he saying? Level is perpendicular to perpendicular to down. I think that's Zanuck's definition of level.
Sorry, is that like a new dictionary? We've got Oxford Dictionary and Zanuck Dictionary, right?
Yeah. Semantics. They don't matter apart from the ones that they make up themselves.
Well, I was going to say it's only semantics if you're arguing about the actual definition of things rather than making them up. That's not semantics. That's just making shit up.
Yeah, what I was going to get to about the Mississippi, because it was the level and curved and all that stuff. and I had them tell me how much curvature basically the Mississippi has to traverse to empty out into the Gulf. So basically, if I'm standing at the Gulf looking up the Mississippi River, technically under their model, the river is flowing up the curvature towards me and emptying out into the Gulf of Mexico. And I go, don't you see any problems with that? And then, of course, he got into forces, vectors, the flow. And I'm like, really? Are you telling you're making this? You have to account for all this movement of this water towards me up over the curve. You have to come in with all these equations, all these forces, all this stuff to account for it. But if it was on a flat surface, it would just be flowing downhill towards me. I was like, pretty crazy.
Well, they lost that argument with the Nile, which starts below the equator and flows upward.
So they are in denial, are
But
they?
no, we're not going to go in the street. We got to go down this way, Lily. We're not going to go in the street.
Sorry, go ahead. Say that again.
So they're in denial?
I just said that.
Wow.
No, that's mine.
I think you'll find that's 10 commands.
One of the same things true if you're standing at where the Nile empties out into the Mediterranean and you're facing where it's coming from. It has to roll up over, right, and empty out into the Mediterranean.
The Suez Canal goes from one sea to another, about 120 miles, no locks.
Yeah.
How'd you work
Flat as a pancake.
Does it flow or is it just still? Does the water still or does it flow?
Yeah, it's water level, isn't it? It's a canal. Water doesn't flow uphill. It'd have to do that on a ball.
Come on, but we got these forces, the weight of the water.
I'm sitting here, my brain.
Go ahead, talk. Got to talk over you. Sorry.
Are we going to allow this then? Are we going to allow this argument that doesn't work? If there was a baller here to challenge what you've said, Bev, what do you think they'd say?
I've said come one, come all, ballers, come on, bring it on.
Well,
I'm ready for it. I've been doing this for 3 months.
I'll stick my baller.
There's nothing. They've got nothing.
We'll see. I'll stick my baller hat on. Down
Go on.
is only relative from your position. So wherever the reference point you're starting from, that's the top of the ball. How can you argue that things are going up when everything's
you're saying
down
that
from
your
position?
horizontal is a tangent?
Just let him finish.
That's okay. Go on.
Well, that's what you do. Are you saying your horizontal is a tangent from the ball that you're stood on?
I'm at the top of it on my ball that I've reified. Yeah.
So right. So are you when you move position to the left or the right? Would that tangent move with you, or would you move on that tangent?
No, I start a new tangent at my new position. Okay. Of course.
Right. So your tangent then would be effectively a curve. You would be talking about the circumference.
You've got it.
Not a tangent.
No, you're getting it. We live on a ball. You're getting it. Well done.
Yeah, thank you. See, I've done this before.
Well, so far
Adam's
I've won.
back.
I've won.
There's a ball.
I've just put you on a ball.
Bar.
I've just won as devil's
Don't forget
advocate.
that vector.
Hold on.
No, you've just curved your horizontal around a ball.
Yeah, that's what it does.
No, it's not. Horizontal is a
it's quite fun being a
Because
baller.
reasons.
I've never done this before. This is great.
I mapped it. Come on, I mapped it.
I love this. This is so much fun. I see why you all do it now.
There, haven't you?
Being a baller's ace, so much fun.
You just get to spew crap.
I can just talk total shite. Yeah, as I move my position and create a new tangent, yeah, you've got a curve. What's your problem?
Yeah, your horizontal curves. I mean, like, if you're willing to go along with that, graphs, they have an X and a Y axis. Yeah?
Yeah.
That X axis, what does that do?
From my position, We've already gone through this.
on the tangent that you're never actually on.
No, I am on it. Right now, I'm at the top of the ball. I can create a tangent. What's the problem?
Yeah, you just carry the tangent with you.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Well, this was my point, right? Was that if that ball was there must be a way of going like a mile one way and a mile the other way with a level, right? 2 levels, let's say, or maybe even 3 might be better, because you could put 2 and do a line, and like because you'd have to have intersecting horizontals, don't you? On that model that you're on, that ball.
You don't understand the model.
Horizontal.
Can't be at 2 places at once. I can't be at the top of the ball here and the top of the ball over there. And like I say, when I move over
somebody
there,
else would be with a level, wouldn't he?
No, I am referencing my point. Yeah, and when we do that, if he takes his reference and creates a tangent, and I take my tangent, well, then we've got a curve, haven't we? We already covered this. Great, we're on a ball.
Are we done with this?
How would the surveyor do his job with the horizontal intersecting horizontal?
Kiwi's asking if we're done with this, right? As far as I can tell, with my baller hat on, I've won. Right, so far we've got a curving tangent from 2 different positions. What's the issue? I've won, right? We're on a ball based on what I've said. That's the end of the argument. Who's going to address this?
You haven't brought up Vector yet. Come on, you got to bring Vector in here somewhere.
What's your
Vector? Victor, we have Clarence. Clarence, Roger. Hey, Adam's back.
Afternoon. Sorry about that, guys.
Hey, no problem. Arwen, you were on.
Nobody's addressing me. Am I going to be left? This isn't so much fun anymore. I've won the argument as a baller. Nobody's going to address me. I don't believe this. I've won and I can't believe it. I'm winning and nobody's addressing it. You're just going to let me win as the baller?
I was trying to ask you, how did you figure out, how did you prove
how do you think you won?
Well, you won for me. You said that it had to curve.
I didn't say it had to curve.
Yeah, you did. You create a
the horizontal's a straight line.
Stop strawmanning us, Nathan.
I create a tangent from my point, and then I take a tangent from the other dude's point, and the 2 in between are curved. That's what you said. You said it. What? So they're curved in between those 2 tangents that you make at the individual positions, both at the top of the ball.
Are they curved? Do you have a curved tangent?
Oh, here we go again.
No.
Arwen, tell Nathan.
What?
Tell Nathan what you're going to do.
Kick him?
For being a winning baller? God, I feel some pity for these ballers.
What am I going to do?
I don't know if you're winning. You didn't prove anything. I'd like to know how you proved any curvature.
You just don't understand.
The world I live in only has parallel horizontal lines.
Well, you just don't understand the ball model.
Nathan hasn't made an intelligent point yet.
Yeah, I have. That's not a rebuttal.
I just don't have a model.
I've just remembered. I've got a defense to all of this as a baller. I can demolish all of this, right? You just don't understand.
Yeah.
There we go. He's transitioned to full baller now.
Go on, Adam. This is a mathematical problem. I'm hoping somebody will concisely take apart the nonsense I've spewed.
I'm with you, Nathan, because aren't concentric circles parallel lines?
Concentric
planes
circles
can be curved.
Oh, what if they're concentric within one another? Then are they parallel with one another? Yeah.
I'm joining you.
Excellent. That's strengthened my position. So we're still at a curved Earth, right?
Kick him.
Why I'm winning? This is great.
Let me know when you actually get some measurable curvature, and let me know how you got that measurable curvature.
No worries. So I stand at the top of the ball. I'm already on the ball, and I take a tangent from my position. Now, the other guy, as detailed by Bev, he's going to do the same, and he's going to take a tangent. And as detailed by Bev, what are we left with when we measure that on a ball? Well, we're left with a curve. Isn't it obvious?
Intersecting horizontals.
No.
You're presupposing a curve. Where did we prove that curvature?
From the top, both of us have got our own tangent.
Okay.
On the ball.
So, do you have any empirical evidence to back up any of those claims, I guess they were?
Just
Prove
explained
the
it.
ball first.
I've just explained it. We're both standing on the top of the ball.
No. We
What don't you
want
get?
proof, not explanation. Thank you.
Yeah.
It works. What's the problem?
Prove the ball first.
Well, why don't you demonstrate it working by providing empirical evidence for it?
Have you never seen the globe model? All maps are based on it. They wouldn't get around. I'm just being rumpused while I detail that circumnavigation proves the spherical Earth.
Oh, this is fun.
We have a new Johnny Globehead.
Oh, God.
This is great, isn't it? It's only great until people don't actually address your shitty claim. Then it's suddenly terrible.
Still waiting.
Kosho's just put a thing. He's obviously
how you measured this curvature though.
Kosho's googled level curves and come up with contour lines as an abruptment for you, or for me. They've done this before.
What?
You just don't like losing. Yeah. You just don't understand. I'm going through a...
The 80s technology.
And that's how you prove the Earth is spinning. You just rumpus me and you don't understand. So, yeah.
Would you demonstrate this differential, maybe from a orthographic view, looking at you? As if I was looking at you and whoever else, would you be able to demonstrate this differential?
Yeah, if you can draw up an orthographic view from both my position with my tangent on the top of the ball and separately, of course, the other person's tangent where they're on the top of the ball, you could present both of them side by side. No worries.
You're not at different positions on top of the ball.
Exactly! I can't be in two places at once, Adam.
But Nathan, which of the scientific methods are you going to apply to...
Did he really just invoke Muppet vision?
Hold on, I can't lose this opportunity. You don't understand science, Arwin. I think you better stay out of it.
Are you going to use the scientific method to disprove something, or...
You don't understand the scientific method. This is great. I like this.
Enlighten me. Why don't you explain your version?
They are legion.
You wouldn't understand it. You wouldn't understand it, Aaron. Oh, I see why they like it so much.
Called playing room.
The best part of it, right, is that no matter what bullshit I spew, if I've got a couple of other ballers here, as Anthony puts it, holding my willy, they'll agree with me regardless of what nonsense I spew, won't they?
Yep.
Right, Nathan.
Exactly.
Totally right.
Adam, that's right, Nathan.
They're not listening to you. Owen, just be quiet for a minute and listen to Nathan. Start interrupting, and you've got to listen carefully.
I had a good point to make, Arwin. I'll make it again now. You don't understand science.
Yeah.
Didn't they make a movie called Free Willy?
Boom boom. But that's gotta be a recipe for disaster, right? If you're just spewing nonsense made up based on scraps of information that you've cobbled together about a model that isn't real, you spew a load of nonsense, and then everyone around you just says, "Yeah, that's really good," and taps you on the back. That's really dangerous, right? You basically left as a complete bonehead as a result of that kind of behaviour.
No, you become a story.
What's funny was I was trying to get you to invoke the curve calculator. Instead, you went with the orthographic Muppet vision.
Sorry, I've just got to address this idiot LLB store who doesn't understand optics. His super chat. Yeah, right. Thanks for the super chat. Says, can you factor in both optics and curve drop? You don't understand optics, LLB store. Thanks for the super chat.
Okay, are we done now?
I think so. I've had enough.
Okay, Arwin, go ahead and spring that on Adam since he's here.
What?
He's giving me more work, Arwin. I know what.
He is.
What? No, it can be a standalone project. I already said it. This could just be a trailer.
Turning into a bloody movie.
It's not. look, it was just 7 seconds, and the eventual version is probably going to be more like 30 seconds. And it shouldn't be. It should just be what it is,
So
and we'll
the
figure out what we
narration.
do with it.
So the narration. Oh my god. So the narration is 30 seconds.
I don't know for sure yet. We still have to do the actual narration and then see what I can fit with it.
Yeah, it can only be like 5 seconds or something in
Yeah.
the beginning.
Well, the thing that you can get out of that I already gave you, and that was 7 seconds. If you shorten it, it just becomes silly. So if you want to use that, you can use that. But I'm gonna make this short trailer, as it were.
Okay, that's fine. Carry on.
Just a quick request for Chocolate, Arwen, and the likes. If they could just temper their enthusiasm for things that you should do. Because as soon as he gets a good idea, he comes and asks me to bloody do it. So I was up to
What? Me? No, I thought you made you were
No.
working on.
No, he's indicting me, Arwen.
That's right. That's what I heard.
Yeah, I'm just teasing. But that was a good clip you got yesterday, although the quality was crap, so I had to find another version of it. But we've integrated.
Thought the quality was low. I thought it was pretty good.
No, it was to put it into the thing. It was too small, the render size for it. So I stole another version. But
all right,
yeah, it was good idea. Have you shared it yet, John, or is it still to be?
I haven't shared it yet because I think we have a little problem with the end. We didn't discuss that.
Well, I was going to say the music plays for like another 10 or 15 seconds, so I could just put that on and then you can fade that out yourself.
When fade it out myself, why don't you just have the music fade inside it? Like the last one, it faded the last time, right?
Yeah, but I can fade it in that program, but it means you can't have the 5 seconds at the end.
So the music is attached to the last 5 seconds also? You can't attach those?
Yeah.
It could be a level fade.
What's going on? You talking shop on a live show?
I'm so sorry.
I was waiting for Nathan to say that. I was like, we're straight shop talking, and I think we're still live.
John,
115 people listening to your admin about videos.
Wait a second. Stop rumpusing me. This is your penance for every single time you cut me off with the show transitions.
Huh?
Are you not on form today, Arwen? There's been a lot of and what from you today.
Oh, you're right.
No, I don't know. I'm trying to find some sort of reason to interrupt John and see if he reacts.
I see.
No,
you just got to be Chocolate.
This
That
is
way
why
you interrupt every time you speak, and there you go.
Yeah, but I can't do it like you.
This is why housekeeping questions is a must.
We haven't even got through any housekeeping questions. How long have we been live? We've been live for about 30 minutes. We've been live. Haven't done a single housekeeping question. We rattle through them.
Can I introduce my own little housekeeping sub-question first?
Yeah,
Well, let's go through the housekeeping questions.
No, go on,
Any
Owen.
signs of Earth curvature?
Hold on, 10th. I've just given him permission to give his own little version of a housekeeping question. We'll see how good it is. Go on, Owen.
It's a sub-housekeeping question. Okay, so any empirical evidence of a moon signal rebounds phenomenon?
No.
Didn't you go to the local radio shop?
Didn't you have the burden of proof reversed and insisted that you actually proved this claim, Arwen? Because that was how I thought it was, and I saw that was totally reasonable. Why the hell haven't you gone to the ham radio shop and verified this for yourself? What's your problem?
Oh, wait, is the ball are you again, right?
I took an astronomy class once. That worked?
No. No, I I actually demand a very specific type of setup in order to satisfy my curiosity that there is any kind of phenomenon. because I am open to it. I'm not going to draw any direct conclusions to it, but I like to see whether their claim is actually based on something real or not, whatever they presuppose about it.
Oh, and if you watch Big Bang Theory, they did it. There's your evidence. The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, they did a lot of things. I know. I've seen it. Literally. Yeah.
JPL.
I tried to find back the clip where basically, by the way, Sheldon said that astronomy was pseudoscience. I couldn't find it. Ugh. But he did talk about the scientific method.
Before you segue, you're saying you want proof of the moon bounce or any other celestial bounce via radio waves. Is that
Well,
your...
a bounce, I want to see that there is something that happens reflective-wise or somehow when you actually point that radio or whatever they use towards what we see as the moon.
There's two
I
requests.
just want to see if there's something to it. It might be. Who knows?
I'll sum up the two requests that are outstanding, then hopefully it's over to 10th Man for a bit of housekeeping. So the outstanding requests so far are any hypothesis-based validation from an astrophysicist. The other is any demonstrated evidence of a reflection when doing these radio bounces. So one's from QE, one's from you. Those are outstanding, correct?
Now, mine is any actual astronomer, astrophysicist, or cosmologist with one viable scientific hypothesis in the history of any of those disciplines. Just one. Thanks.
Over to you, 10th Man.
Any signs of Earth curvature?
Not from Zimbabwe.
Not on Earth.
Any signs of axial rotation of the Earth-based variety?
No demonstrated.
Any signs of an axis?
No demonstrated Coriolis deviation in helicopters, drones, or aeroplanes? No. Earth's
Gyroscopes, when spun stay perfectly stable. It's a clear sign.
Yeah, you need an axis to have axial rotation. So any signs of an axis?
That's because none of you guys understand the science. That's it.
Oh, thank you for that.
There you go. That's it.
Thank you for that.
Wait a minute. This fiber optic thing got it. This fiber optic gyro picked up curvature. Come on, or not curvature, rotation. Come on. The fiber optic gyro.
The light rotated. Yeah, that's interesting. I know.
How about any scientific evidence for gravity?
Hold on. Go on, Paul. What was this? Fiber optic gyro, what now?
I mean, the fiber optic gyro shows 15 degrees of rotation. Like when you're sitting on the ground and you turn it on, it starts to show a 15-degree deviation in its optics. Come on, that's proof of rotation, right?
Hold on, let's
light
get to what
is
it's
somehow rotating 15 degrees.
Hold on. So you're saying, my understanding, Paul, is that gyroscopes have a fixed frame of reference. Now, this deviation, I don't understand. If it's got a fixed frame of reference, what's deviating? I don't understand.
Oh, you just don't understand reference frames, Nathan.
That's fine.
Come on now.
That's what I'm saying. You're saying that something that is designed by definition to not deviate is showing an apparent deviation. I don't understand what that means. Can you explain it to me? What is this apparent deviation demonstrated in
Well, it's showing that the Earth is rotating. It's because it's deviating to 15 degrees. It's showing Earth rotation, Nathan. That's what it is. That's just that. That's it. It's that simple.
Are you shaving?
Are you shaving your face?
No, my brother-in-law is painting or staining our deck. We're painting to stain our deck, and he's out here spraying it. So that's what you're hearing.
You haven't linked the two together. I'm saying the optical gyro is designed to be fixed in its frame of reference. You're saying it deviates, and you're saying that proves Earth spins. You haven't linked those two things together. How does that prove Earth spins?
Well, I guess when I'm sitting on the ground.
All right.
Go ahead. I guess when I'm sitting on the ground, when that thing fires up, I'm sitting on the ground, and it's showing a deviation that I guess at some point maybe the Earth is supposedly moving under the gyroscope. I guess.
I see. So what you're claiming is that you, while sat on the ground, which is rotating beneath the claimed fixed reference of an optical gyro, you are observing it's seeming to deviate. It's not, it's in a fixed reference, because Earth's rotating underneath that inertial reference frame that the gyro is fixed in. Is that correct, Paul?
I guess you do understand reference frames, Nathan, so yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay. No worries. So Earth is spinning underneath the fixed frame of an optical gyro. It would also, therefore, Paul, be spinning underneath a drone, a helicopter, and a plane, or anything that leaves the non-inertial spinning reference frame that you claim to observe this 15-degree deviation in. That would necessitate flight times from, say, Charlotte, North Carolina to LA being in the region of about an hour and a half, rather than 4 to 4.5 hours, because Earth's rotating underneath that frame of the gyro? No. It would have to be demonstrated in other things, including drones, helicopters, and aeroplanes, if it's rotating underneath that optical gyroscope.
But see, only planes would have to account for it north to south in flight, though, Nathan. Come on. You know there's this conservation momentum that has to be accounted for. So it's only would be an issue. You only notice it when you fly north to south, not east to west.
We're not talking about conservation of momentum. We're talking about Coriolis effect.
Have him define the conservation of momentum.
Why? We're not talking about it. We're talking about Coriolis deviation, are we not? Why have we segued away from Coriolis effect into conservation of angular momentum? I don't understand why we've segued. We're detailing a deviation called Coriolis effect, are we not?
How do you even have Coriolis if you're conserving momentum?
Paul, you are describing a not actual deviation demonstrated by the gyroscope, which is in an inertial reference frame, and you're claiming its deviation, apparent or otherwise, is caused by Earth rotating underneath. So we're not describing the retention of any angular velocity. We're detailing a deviation due to two reference frames. Correct?
No, the only thing you have is that one reference frame, the reference frame you're in, Nathan. Come on. You only have that one reference frame. Come on. I thought you understood reference frames. Come on now.
So then you have no Coriolis.
No. The optical gyro that you're claiming demonstrates Coriolis effect is in a fixed frame, and you're claiming to observe an apparent deviation because you're on a separate non-inertial spinning reference frame. That's two. Do you not understand Coriolis, Paul?
Sanic says that you cannot leave the reference frame. Therefore, you don't understand?
You, as the observer of this deviation, will not leave the non-inertial spinning reference frame. And in Paul's example, he didn't. He said he observed a not actual deviation of the gyro because he's on a rotating claim to be spinning Earth. That's what he claimed.
Nathan, though, there's a new claim, though, that now objects cannot change reference frames or leave the non-inertial reference frame because you're still looking at it.
The object being observed. Okay, let's unpack that.
Come on.
That's two things. Let's just unpack that. There's two things that you've just described, Chocolate. One is the observation of the not actual deviation. The other is the projectile and its movement. So we'll unpack it by asking you to answer this following question in regards to the object and its traversing of reference frames. If you have a drone on a roundabout and the roundabout is spinning and the drone isn't in flight, it is sitting on the rotating platform, would you agree that that is on a rotating platform? Yes or no? That's the first part. Chocolate.
Yeah, I would agree so, yes.
If you then push up on the remote control, regardless of where you are standing, would you agree that that which we will classify as the projectile, when you push the up stick, is no longer on the spinning platform?
Well, let me help. Go ahead, Chuck. I'm sorry.
That would be no.
So when it was spinning with the roundabout, it was on a spinning reference frame, and when it left the roundabout, it was in an inertial reference frame. So first in one, then in the other. Agreed?
I agree, sure.
So the projectile unless the example starts with the projectile in the inertial reference frame, can indeed traverse different reference frames. Arbitrary designations of frames of reference we assign to what each thing is doing at a given point. In this example, drone on roundabout on the non-inertial spinning reference frame. Drone takes off and is then in the inertial reference frame. 2, not 1.
Wait. So let me clear this up because Zanuck was trying to tell me differently. He was telling me that something on the non-inertial reference frame, even if it goes into the inertial reference frame, is still on the non-inertial reference frame because you're still looking at it.
Well, those are two different things. So my part 1 was to detail the projectile, in this example, a drone. Now, the projectile is not the observer. They are two different things. The observation of the deflection will take place, if there's Coriolis, on a non-inertial spinning reference frame. So back to my drone example. Now we're going to sit on the roundabout, and we're going to have the drone in front of us, spinning with us on the roundabout as one. We're all spinning. Drone, roundabout, and you observing this effect that is about to take place. Upon pushing the up stick on the remote control for the drone, it, the projectile, will leave the reference frame you are on. You, however, who is going to observe this not actual deflection, will remain on the spinning reference frame to observe that the drone appears to fly towards you and fly away from you as you rotate underneath. The reason this not actual deflection is described as a not actual force is because the drone is not actually flying towards you and not actually flying away. It's merely hovering above the roundabout. So just to summarise, the projectile will and can in this example and does traverse the two reference frames we are exampling when it takes off from the non-inertial spinning reference frame. You as the observer of this not actual force, of the force of it flying towards you, no, it's not flying towards you, it's hovering. That observer will remain on the non-inertial spinning reference frame to observe this not actual deviation. The effect of the drone flying towards you and flying away, when in reality it's you rotating underneath and the drone remaining in a pretty much fixed position, hovering, not actually moving above the roundabout.
Let me clarify something up, Nathan, if you don't mind. Now, an inertial reference frame would be one of two things. Either something is setting still and not moving, or moving at a constant, or at a, constant velocity. Is that right? So that would be one of those two options in inertial reference frame?
A frame of reference is just a coordinate system. Now, if the object in this particular frame of reference is not moving, you can classify it as being stationary in that reference frame. That coordinate system, it stays with the same coordinates. Unlike the separate non-inertial reference frame, which is going to be rotating underneath in relation to that reference frame, where the drone in my example is in a fixed coordinate.
Okay, it sounds like you understand, so I'll let you go there. So go ahead, finish up. I think you've basically proved that 15 degrees deviation is not proof of rotation, as I can see right now.
Well, if you have 15 degree deviation, because Earth is claimed to rotate under a fixed inertial frame of a gyroscope and demonstrate a not actual deviation, described as being 15 degree Earth rotation underneath the gyro, then Earth rotates under the gyro. And also rotates under anything that's not in the non-inertial spinning reference frame that's claimed to be Earth spinning. This is including but not limited to drones, helicopters, aeroplanes, bullets, balls, anything that leaves the non-inertial spinning reference frame of a claim to be spinning ball Earth. And if that was true as claimed by the gyro or pendulum or bullet or ball, then it would also apply to the plane, drone and helicopter, and the plane would experience Earth rotating underneath, shortening its duration when flying west, or precluding it from ever catching up with the place it's travelling to if travelling east, depending on your latitude, on a claim to be spinning ball Earth that's a sphere. We don't observe this effect. Therefore, Earth is not exhibiting any Coriolis deviation, not giving you proof it spins. Go ahead, whoever that was in Discord.
Could I just chirp in for a second, Nathan?
Sure.
This supposed Coriolis effect that's apparently being demonstrated with the ring laser gyro, I've found out a little bit more information with regards to that. Now, the presupposition is that this change in the ring laser is the thing that's is caused by the Earth rotating underneath. That's what's presupposed. Now, obviously, this is light movement, and outside of the other movements of the Earth within the Copernican model, you know, which it doesn't demonstrate, there is actually some collected data which is even more curious with regards to the ring laser's behavior. And whilst, yeah, at approximate sea levels, it does appear to demonstrate this 15 degrees per hour, which is ascribed to Earth rotation. However, on increasing altitude, the rate of rotation in degrees per hour, not speed, because that would increase, but the rate of rotational degrees per hour increases with altitude, which then does not become commensurate and in lockstep with a supposed one rotation in 24 hours.
How have you come to this conclusion? Has this been shown to you?
Yeah.
So the claim that let me get it straight. As you raise a ring laser gyro in altitude, the rotational claim to be deviation of a spinning ball Earth at 15 degrees increases with altitude. Is that correct?
That's my understanding, yeah.
Is this exhibited only in a ring laser gyro, or is this exhibited in any other piece of equipment, gyroscopic or otherwise?
Not, I've not heard of any demonstration gyroscopically.
Can you just explain to me the difference between a mechanical gyroscope and a fibre optic gyroscope, please?
Put simply, a mechanical gyroscope is held there by the motion and it holds itself rigid in free space. A ring laser gyro its causation is unknown. It's attributed to rotation, but like I said, with these results, it's questionable if you can attribute it because it's changing.
What was it built for? What was that artifact built for in the first place?
Built for aircraft. This is the interesting thing with the lock boxes, isn't it? If it is showing that, then that information is known. If the devices output that data, then that information is known. Might be why if they go wrong, you're never allowed to touch them. They just come and swap the whole unit on your ball, you know.
So is everybody au fait now with the claim that the gyro is making of a Coriolis effect and how that would have to translate into other items, projectiles, objects, as opposed to you viewing it? Paul, you're kind of rumpusing me. Is everyone clear with how that deviation would necessitate other items that leave the non-inertial claim to be spinning ball Earth showing a deviation that they don't show in reality? Is everyone clear with that now?
Oh, been clear with that.
Yeah, I'm done being Johnny Globehead. I'm done. I was want to think about something Adam said. First thought I had was about that is I wonder if they built that 15-degree deviation into the gyro itself somehow. But I don't know. I have no proof. It's just speculation.
I tried to lead Adam. He didn't take the bait. I think he knew what I was doing. He also mentioned which gyro. You convoluted the two gyros. I said fibre optic. You said ring laser.
Yeah, I think the specific one, mine's a little vague on that. I do tend to get mixed up, but it's the one that's been tested, whichever model that is, mate. I'm not sure now which.
Fiber optic was the FE cores gyro that they utilised, as far as I'm understanding it. It's not a ring laser; it's a fiber optic.
Fiber optic. That's what I meant. Sorry.
Alrighty then. Any scientific evidence for gravity?
Scientific evidence of what?
Scientific evidence of what?
Which of the two gravities you're talking about?
Take your pick. Don't mind.
Any of them.
If I concluded that question by saying there is no scientific evidence of gravity, would that answer your question, SX?
Well, yeah, it does. I don't want to say apples falling from the tree, you know? I mean, that's...
Are you at work? You in the orchard? Did apples falling from a tree?
I'm driving, sorry.
I don't see the connection. Were you just talking to your boss about work or something?
No. I was saying that there is. No, I'm driving. You know, I'm a truck driver.
With apples? I don't know. Maybe we'll find out what the apple falling from a tree example was about. I don't understand. I'm playing dumb deliberately, by the way.
I'm going to use some global or Boyle logic. We have differential pressure, Nathan. That's proof of gravity. So pretty much, because gravity is what's causing the differential pressure, the weight of the air. Come on now.
Where did that air come from in the first place?
Pressure. Where did that pressure come from in the first place?
That's the new one they're giving you, right?
Well, that's how they're saying it's the weight of the air that's keeping the air and it's causing differential pressure. So obviously gravity is the cause of that. So there you go.
Yeah, they superimpose weight onto gas, which is expanding in all directions, attribute a downward force that they presuppose of gravity, when in reality, gravity is not a force, it's the bending of a concept, the conceptual medium known as space-time, giving rise to a non-force force that you can think of as a force but isn't actually a force called gravity, which absolutely in no way defies gas law. So this assertion that the weight of the air above is pressing down on the weight below when gas is an inhomogeneous anisotropic mixture is ludicrous. Moving on.
Any evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the center of a presupposed spherical Earth?
No.
No.
Well, presuppose, I mean, it doesn't actually exist. So, yeah, no.
All right. Any evidence for the distance of the sun?
No.
Not a chance.
It cannot be measured. There's not.
We can't even figure
Doesn't matter
out the angles.
Doesn't matter how many. It doesn't matter how many triangles you make in the ground on the Earth. You cannot measure it. That's a fact.
What's the sun?
Light in the sky.
Who asked that? Excellent question. Who asked that?
Yeah, that was me.
Matthias. Excellent question. What's the sun? I have absolutely no idea.
Any evidence of the radius?
How about spectroscopy?
Spectroscopy.
Well, I was going to bring that up. It's been told to me because of spectroscopy, we can know the material makeup of the sun. And we actually discovered helium because of the Of course, Ray decides to do this. We discovered helium because of spectroscopy of the sun.
Now spectroscopy.
Spectroscopy.
I don't know how to say this. I'll admit it.
No, you said it correctly. Hold on. Can't let that slide. No, you did actually say it correctly. Spectroscopy. But we're saying spectroscopy and all the other nonsense mispronunciations of spectroscopy, which are given to us by globeheads, Paul. You did actually say it correctly.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So spectroscopy tells us the makeup of the sun. It's got helium in it, so there you go. Go for it.
Clear as crystal. No.
Well, please go on. I mean, tell us about your spectroscopy acumen.
Well, that's what I've been told. See, I'm actually regurgitating what's been told to me, so I don't know much about it, so I really can't make a claim about it. But they've been told that if we looked at the sun through spectroscopy, we actually discovered there's helium up there, and that somehow we discovered helium through that process.
Yeah, I heard you the first time. Okay, let's see if there's any spectroscopy experts in Discordia or on the panel here.
I'm not an expert, but I'll have a damn good look at it for you.
I'll have a damn good look.
Spectroscopy experts in Discordia. Hello, essays.
How are you gonna look at Spicky?
Danny T is supposed to be an expert. He was the one telling me about all this yesterday.
Is Danny T in Discordia?
Doesn't look like it.
He's part of the ones that are boycotting or something like that. I don't. Even if he was here, he wouldn't speak, I guess.
Was that the end?
Feelings.
They're boycotting us.
No arguments, just feelings.
Did we get to the end of the housekeeping questions? Was that all of them?
No.
Feel
Any
free.
evidence of the radius of the Earth, the R value?
No.
Okay, last one. Any evidence that you can have gas pressure without the necessary antecedent of a container to press upon?
No. That would be a violation of a natural law. Several natural laws.
Verdict, the globe is dead.
Are you sure, though? Because apparently these guys think that entropy doesn't exist, except it's only in an isolated system.
Yeah. Having entropy described by way of an isolated system which does not exist in nature is a simplification to describe how gas law is applicable without convoluting it and making it nice and simple for people to understand. This is, however, a natural law, otherwise known as scientific law. Being described by way of isolated system doesn't suddenly mean it doesn't apply anywhere. There'd be no point in having this natural law if it didn't apply. And saying that the application of an isolated system is akin to saying gas law doesn't apply because they describe it with ideal gas. There are no ideal gases and there are no isolated systems. It doesn't mean these natural laws don't apply. Given that is probably the most elongated housekeeping session we've ever done, at the 58-minute mark, we're going to round out and say, if you are watching this on the Nathan Oakley 1980 channel premiering stream, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow. Unfortunately, if you're watching this live on Nathan Oakley, this is where we bid you farewell. A huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you who did tune in live on Nathan Oakley for smashing the super chat, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and all that good stuff. And of course, a massive thank you to all of today's debating panel for making this live show possible. Stay tuned if you're watching on Nathan Oakley 1980. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
No, we were saying that they're
kind of disconcerting
boycotting
though,
or something.
seeing Nathan go in so full globe like that.
Did you like it?
No, it was creepy.
It was
I liked
awesome.
it. I liked it.
He even brought up Muppet Fish. I was like, what the hell?
It was the
We're
first
going
time
all the way in.
First time I've done it. That was the first time I've ever played Johnny Globehead, and it was a mixed bag, right? Because at first I'm like, this is fantastic. I can basically make up any old shite. Go on, Essex. Oh, it's being moved to the after show. But then halfway through, everyone gets sick of it and gives up. And it's like, well, at this point, I've obfuscated this point and made up enough garbage for anybody listening to actually potentially side with me. And everyone's given up and going, I'll boot him. You're like, hold on. No, pull my point apart. Please.
Nah,
Suddenly it's like... Hell.
I was trying to get you to concede how you got from your little tangent to actual measurable curvature, and you never you never said it because I wanted you to
I
say,
thought I got around that
that's
quite
why
well.
the curve
You're just trying
math.
to pull off a Brenda.
I thought I
eventually.
got away with that quite well. I said you'd have to have two different orthographic representations. I mean, that's pretty ham-handed, but that was the way I got around it. I mean, it's garbage. It could have been pulled apart, but it wasn't.
I do want to address the specs. Now I can't say the word spec cross. I can't say it. Never
Spectroscopy.
mind. You screwed me up. Yeah.
Spectroscopy.
Danny T was kind of. It seemed like he was equating like how they use it in forensics, like using to determine the fibers in a car, determining if someone is there or not, or something along those lines, and then equating the same through to stellar spectroscopy. I can't even say it now. That word, to stellar, and I know there's a disconnect, and I don't understand the disconnect, so I didn't know how to address it. And I know, John, at some point you're going to address it. I would hope. Am I right? There's a disconnect between terrestrial and stellar.
I'll have a bang if you want.
Go for it.
Most lab stuff is light-based spectroscopy, where you have the sample itself, and you're able to verify the sample by other means. Astronomical spectroscopy.
Weird.
You can't use light.
Do we have?
This is so weird. This popped up after the debate, and they misspelled. It should say astrophysicist. It just says astrophysics, and they're actually.
Erwin, you just rumpused Adam, by the way.
Yeah, I was listening to that point, to his point.
Sorry.
Okay. So the point with astro spectroscopy is you can't use visible light, because I think Wiki says it's absorbed by the ozone and atmospheric oxygen, so you can't take any readings. So, I mean, I'll read you the quote. It's probably easier because I just did a quick dib. Astronomical spectroscopy is used
Stop.
What?
Stop.
What?
Come on, guys. Spectroscopy. I'm doing a presentation
sorry.
on this in 2 weeks.
Spectroscopy used to measure 3 major bands of radiation.
Oh my God, he's ruining my presentation.
Oh, just let him. It's all right. There's hardly anybody watching. This is only going out to 15,000 people.
And it's also a teaser. You can unpack it more, John. So this is a bit of a teaser.
Yeah, see, Adam's ruining all my stuff, man. He ruined the PhD and masters. Now he's ruined my spectroscopy.
Yeah, he ruined me earlier. The bastard, right? I look to him to unpack my nonsense about creating tangents at separate points that are presupposed on the top of a sphere, and instead he sides with me as a baller. I'm like, well done for descending me into hell. I was hoping somebody would rescue me and unpack my globe head nonsense that started off fun until no one unpacked it, and then you sided with me as a baller. I'm like, oh my God, this is getting worse.
It was you look like you was having too much fun, and B, I realise it's just dead easy just to sit there. It doesn't matter how good somebody unpacks you. You just chat another little bit of shit afterwards that's maybe relevant, probably not, and carry on. So I thought I'd just join you, mate. You look like you're having more fun.
What about that fiber optic gyro?
You're just trying to segue away from him reading this article that you've rumpused already.
I'll stay away from it a little bit, John. But all I'll say is they have to use X-ray and radio waves, right? Radio signals have much longer wavelengths than optical signals. They require antennas or radio dishes. We're now mass sampling, but X-ray and ultraviolet spectroscopy require the use of spectrumoscopy. Require the use of satellite telescopes.
He's rumpusing the crap out of you. Come on, QE. Come on.
He keeps going and going, John.
He's rumpusing the crap out of you, Adam.
Absolutely funny. Sorry, John. I would if I was ruining a presentation, but I'll carry on. No, but that's the point. It appears the data is collected from Narnia.
I think I understand what you're saying. Basically, terrestrial is actually visible light, and stellar is actually X-rays and other not visible light. That's basically the way to say it, right?
Fundamental, but more fundamentally, how do you know that this signal you're getting, A, is emanating from where you think, that's the, because you can't actually, it's not tangible, your sample that you're attributing this data to. So you can't extrapolate it that far. Whereas Earth-based spectroscopy, you've got the thing you're sampling.
Yeah.
So it's correlation, but not causation. I was actually that was actually where I was thinking eventually, because on Earth I can correlate. I can say they're actually coming from the same source, and I can see it, and I can tangibly, I can touch it. Up there you can't. And if you want to say that light is that, you got to prove it. You got to go out there and examine it, look at it, and see if that's where that light's coming from.
It's correlation without confirmation.
No.
That's
No. It's well, confirmation, yes. The tangibility, that's the word that you're looking at. I play on the tangibility aspect of stellar spectroscopy in regards to my example with transsexual spectroscopy. The lady of the lake, you're looking across a lake, and unless you can actually go and verify it's a lady, how are you going to compare to the ladies on this side of the lake to make sure? Well, you just don't know until you've got some sort of tangible way of checking what's on the other side of the lake. And that's Adam's example. It's about the tangibility.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I went at it with Danny, because I thought, well, you can't tell me that light being emitted is truly X element until you can actually go to that and say, well, X element is there. And of course, he didn't like that.
What do you call a person that sells their body for spaghetti?
A prostitute.
Prostitute. Yeah.
That took a second. That one. That's good.
A prostitute.
Would that be? Could it be anti-prostitute?
Isn't that what you do before?
How about those parallel lines?
How about those level curves?
That was where Adam essentially sold me under the bus as devil's advocate. I'm thinking, yeah, Adam will unpick this nonsense. And instead, he's like, oh, look how much fun he's having. He just has to agree. I'm speaking from Adam's point of view. If I just agree with his nonsense, I can have the same amount of fun. And that's much easier. I don't have to think about it at all. I can just nod along and tell him he's brilliant when I'm making a crap point for their side.
It was kind of funny to hear you say things like, well, you just don't understand, and it works because I say it works, and yeah.
And then he started with the mic problems.
Yeah, that was great. Stop referencing me.
Oh, well, the new argument here after you guys leave is the level thing. They've been arguing about the level thing.
Nah, it's already destroyed.
Yeah, I missed out on a super chat.
Who a couple days ago was basically had that level argument. I came into him in the Discord yesterday, I think, doing basically running through the ballers with that, and they were getting frustrated. And so Danny T comes on and presents a civil engineering photo web page of a circle in a describing level and having a picture of a circle. It was great. I got it. I can share it if anybody wants it.
Wow.
I saw that one. It was interesting.
Well,
hey, has
the
the tactic guy appeared in Discord today?
Can't see him.
Hello?
I'll just scroll down and have a look. It doesn't look like it. No, he's not here today. Shame.
Okay.
Best normie to date.
Oh, he said thank you very much for the video. I sent him the video last night that you told him you were going to send him. So he said thank you very much.
Oh, the BT commercial. Yeah, I shared it when I was talking about it after I got hold of the flux capacitor and went forward in time. I shared that video with the Uncut and After Show audience 2 days ago for the people watching yesterday for us recording this now. So yeah, that very confusing.
For tomorrow.
It's Friday, right? Of course it's Friday. Yeah, Friday.
Yep, it's Friday.
Yeah,
Would
BT
it be
taking the
alright if
mic.
we
Basically,
poke a bit at the R? Oh, sorry.
Does anybody? I just wanted to know if anybody actually buys that story, though. So, Bart Subrell's narrative. For those of you who aren't aware, most people watching will be aware. If you're not, here it goes. I'll try and condense it. He claims he applied to NASA for some tapes of the moon landing. He got sent a reel that, according to him, he shouldn't really have got because it showed some unedited footage of them creating a picture of Earth from space by being what he claimed to be in a high altitude plane and then putting a little cutout section into the window and then blacking out all the lights inside the craft and then snapping a picture from the back of the craft, making it seem like the darkness of the inside of the craft was the blackness of space, and the creation that they'd made with the window and the Earth far below them was this picture that they gave us eventually as a picture of Earth from space. So the actual footage showed somebody getting in the way as they're making the shot, presumably I think it was Armstrong doing the actual photograph, so it'd probably be Buzz Aldrin, potentially. I think it was. Buzz Aldrin gets in the way, and therefore it ruins the illusion, because obviously you can't have someone's arm in the vacuum of space between us and the Earth, and that's essentially what happens as the shot's being created. Now, my question is, who buys that narrative, this story?
Oh, I'll say it's interesting.
Do you mean
I don't know if I'd buy it 100%, but I say it's interesting, especially because at the same time, Neil Armstrong is calling out, "Oh yeah, we're 130,000 miles from the Earth." So they were claiming to be halfway to the moon.
Maybe
meanwhile,
you're
they're
confused what I mean.
You know, if they were actually in the plane, they're just in a high altitude plane. It's like hilarious.
Yeah, you're paraphrasing the narrative that's been put forward by Bart Subrell, which I'm not questioning. I'm actually questioning Bart Subrell himself in terms of his presentation of this, what I'd call a suspension of disbelief, a story, right? He's telling a story. His story, his version of events, is that NASA just happened to send him unedited footage of the moon landing debunking itself. That's his story, right? Who buys that story?
I don't.
Oh, that part? I don't know about that. Why would they just send him that? I've thought about that before too. Like, why would they accidentally send him something nobody should be seeing? Some intern fucked up or something? Like, I don't know.
Well, could it be that they, as in NASA, or the people who made the tapes or were in charge of it, sent it knowing and believing themselves and understanding that, well, this is going to work. It should work to, I guess, fool anybody. It is good enough. Therefore, it should be fine. So maybe they had no thought of it could be, I guess, debunked as a bit of a staged event.
That would imply that the person sending the tape knew that it was fake, but thought that the tape would be good enough to fool somebody. Whereas I think if what you're saying along those lines was the case, it would be more likely that the person sending the tape was under the impression that obviously it's a real tape of us going to the moon. We went to the moon. No harm, no foul. I'll send it out anyway. Who cares? Why would it be fake? It isn't fake. In fact, that thought probably didn't even cross their mind, if Bart Subrell's story is to be believed. Any more? Anyone else got an opinion on whether or not that part of Bart Subrell's story is true? Huey said no. Chocolate said no. I'm going to put my 2 pennyworth in and say, I don't believe that for 1 minute.
Nah, that's the part of the story. I'm like, I don't know. It could go either way with that.
I think they might have gotten careless and just sent it, but who knows?
Have you got something you wanted
The
to
best part of that was when he plays it for Buzz, and Buzz's reaction, that he's so distraught, threatening him to sue and take him to court and all that, and Bart Sproul's just like, yeah, please do. I'm waiting for you to please take me to court for this. I have no problem with that. So I don't know. Just a funny thing.
On our other related topic, here's your level surface on from the center of the Earth. You guys can see it. That's what they're saying. This is a level surface.
That
Can
looks
you
parallel to me.
Can you read it out? Can you read it out, Paul, or
Were you able to
anybody?
grab my post there from Danny T?
Say that again, Nathan. I didn't hear you.
Just want anybody to read it out.
Oh, hang on. Sorry. Level surface, a surface parallel to the mean spheroid of the Earth, is called a level surface, and a line drawn on a level surface is known as a level line. Hence, all points lying on a level surface are equidistant from the center of the Earth.
That's friggin' nonsense. You can't. Number one, they don't know where the center of the Earth is. Number two, they profess to live on an ellipsoid. I did 3 presentations on this, toe tagging that retard friggin' George, the Pontiff Maximus of Retardia, with the exact same point. Why bring this back up? Why do I have to keep on going over this?
Because it keeps coming up. You have to keep beating that dead horse, John. Come on now, you know how that works.
Yeah, flat earthers are resigned to experiencing Groundhog Day.
Well, I'm looking at this picture, Paul, and it's already begging the question of a sphere. So you're arguing within the fallacy the minute they show you this article. So I would say prove that the Earth is a sphere first.
Okay, where's that article come from? Hold on one second.
They're talking about 2 different things right there, Adam. That the one that is shown on that picture is talking about the space between the 2 lines. It's level all around the ball, right? And we're talking about the line, like a level line, like what
Are you
water
Paul?
does.
Is your name Paul?
No, why?
Did you hear me ask him where did he get that article from? And then you just start talking about something.
I didn't hear you at all, John.
Paul.
I'm sorry. I'll be quiet now.
Thank you. Paul, where'd you get the article from?
It wasn't me. I just pulled it off Discord. But if you can see my screen, it actually gives you the address. It's
Go ahead.
It's civilengineeringx.com.
Yeah, that was originally from Danny T. I threw that in there. He gave that to us yesterday or the day before, one of the 2. Absurd.
Just looking at
John?
it.
Wait a minute. John, did you catch it? Did you try to copy and paste it?
Okay, no, hold on one second. I want you to read. Let me see if I can read it. Let me see if I can make it a little bigger.
Can you share your screen?
No, I'm not sharing my screen. Get the frick out of the way. Oh my God, you took it off.
No, it's there.
Look at my screen on the Hangouts.
It's still
John,
there.
I've got it up there.
It's still there. You just have
Just
to
read.
fiddle with.
Hey, Nathan, just read the last sentence for us, please.
Hence, all points lying on a level surface are equidistant from the center of the Earth.
From Wikipedia, elevation is not to be confused with the distance from the center of the Earth. Looks like we have a problem, don't we?
Yeah, if you
someone
can't determine where the center of the Earth is, you can't determine what level would be.
That's true, but they're saying one thing, and they just got contradicted by the alma mater wiki. Do you need that citation?
You could drop it in Discord because I was trying to find that yesterday when they were bringing this up. I was trying to find what you were talking about.
Just wiki. It's just wiki.
Yeah, I'll drop it in there right now.
Yeah, well, a side of a ball or a sphere is not level. Sorry to say to you, globetards.
Well, I brought up the spheroid to Zanuck, and then of course, can you guess what his answer would be? It's negligible. It's negligible.
Of course.
Adam
Yeah.
already went over this. We did a whole presentation on ball busters. It was part of it about taking the distance when you're living on an ellipsoid. There is no point on the surface that is equidistant when you live on a stupid ellipsoid. This is self-evident.
Well
Think
stated.
about it.
We don't live on an ellipsoid.
They think they do.
They got to have gravity, which is not real, a bending of a conception.
Don't worry
They
about
gotta
that. That we're not talking about those other red herring fallacies. We're talking about living on an ellipsoid and getting your elevation from the center of that ellipsoid.
Well, they got to prove we
And
live
no
on an
one's ever been
ellipsoid
able to.
first.
Even if it wasn't, I'm giving him the ellipsoid. I'm giving it to him. No, think about it. Can you just, without me drawing it, you got a picture of an ellipsoid, right? You take a straight line from the center to any point along the surface. Go ahead and quarter the globe, put a crosshair on the globe. Just take 1/4 of it, right? There is no point that is equidistant from the center of an ellipsoid. This is self-evident. We're back to primary school here, right? So it's back and forth, back and forth. One thing says this, another citation says this. It's all contradicting each other, right?
Well, and Zanuck, I can see Zanuck in the. Come on in here, Zanuck, if you want to, if you're not muted him already. But now he's saying elevations from sea level. Well, when I was talking to him yesterday about the elevation of, and the curvature of the Mississippi River, he started talking about from the center of the earth and pulling in all the forces and stuff. So come on in here, Zanuck. Let's talk about this.
I'm here. So
you better
talk
make it
about
quick.
sea level.
Hey,
Sea level.
Zanuck.
Speaking about.
Because you're starting to piss me off already.
I haven't said more than 2 words and you're already upset with me?
Yeah, I'm pretty pissed at you. Now, who are we getting? Are we getting the physics forums or you?
We're always getting me. I go to the physics forum sometimes to validate my claims or sometimes to get better ways of saying things. That's why I go there. If you wanted to know the truth.
Yeah, nice. Did you provide that drawing of level? Hold on a second. Paul, could you bring that picture back up again?
Yeah, give me a second.
That was ET that provided that.
Who was it?
Yep, guaranteed.
Not Zanuck.
Oh, it wasn't Zanuck. I'm sorry. I'm not going to put that on you, Zanuck. I thought that was probably something you would do. Go ahead, Nathan. If you want to entertain this clown, he's all yours.
Not me, Paul.
By the way, QE, you mentioned yesterday you thought force was a pressure per unit.
Don't speak to me ever again. Do you understand me?
Why can't we talk? Okay, we don't want to talk. I
You
respect that.
are
No
a
big deal.
demonstrated fraud. That's why. Don't ever speak
Well,
to
if
me.
you're going to make that claim, you better
Talk
back it
to
up.
Paul, I'll shut you up. If you want to talk to Paul or anybody else on this panel, it's Nathan's show. I'll allow you to do so. But you don't talk to me, sir. Thank you.
I respect that. Paul, we can talk.
Yeah, we were talking about elevation yesterday, and we were talking about the Mississippi as a higher elevation. But you talked about sea level, but then you also talked about the center of the earth. So which is it? You remember our conversation yesterday about the Mississippi River elevation and flowing over the curvature?
Yep, I did.
You talked to me about elevation being from the center of the earth, but then you just posted in Discord that it's actually sea level. So which is it?
I don't think I ever mentioned the center of the earth yesterday, but it is sea level.
So how over the curved surface is the Mississippi at a higher elevation over the curvature of the earth? or spheroid?
Because elevation is the distance above sea level, and the curvature is the shape of the object. So if you have a shape, obviously if it has a curve, there will be different distances from different respective tangents. So if there's a tangent from
this to me. So,
the beginning of the
so elevation. So I'm at the mouth of the Mississippi. The water is flowing out into the Gulf of Mexico. It's at a
Right.
higher elevation on the other side of the curve, right?
Yep. Yep.
Is that by sea level or center of the earth elevation?
It's by sea level elevation.
Okay, so the water is flowing towards me around the curve and hitting into the ocean, right?
Right. It's 400-foot elevation difference from the top of the Mississippi, North America, down to where it meets the Gulf. 440 feet. But the distance is over 2,000 miles.
Over a curve. It's elevated over a curve. Can you demonstrate elevation over a curve?
Yes. It progressively from 400 feet to zero. So it has a change of 400 feet from the beginning to the end. There's a delta distance, change in distance, the elevation from 400 feet to zero as it hits the mouth of the Gulf of Mexico.
Over a curve, right?
Over a curve, yes. Because water has weight along the way.
Just demonstrate how you have elevation over a curve.
I just told you. The elevation is the distance above the surface relative to sea level. So there is land masses that are above sea level.
Define what level is. Define level.
Level is a surface parallel to another surface.
Level? That's not level. Parallel.
Level, yes, it's level. If I have a curved surface and a
parallel
line
right?
above
Not level. Parallel.
with respect to the other. Yeah, yes, you can be level going around a curve. If you have two parallel circular lines, one's level with respect to the other at any one point.
Level has to do with horizon, which most horizons are flat, right?
What's that?
Hold on a second, Paul. I'm just a bit confused, Anik. It sounds like you're describing this drop, and then Paul's trying to get you to qualify whether or not there's elevation over a curve, but you're simultaneously saying that the two, i.e. level, are parallel with one or the other. Well, which one is it? Are they? I hadn't finished. I hadn't finished. So which is it? Parallel with one another, that being level, as per your description, or falling away with drop? Which one is it?
Level is a tangent parallel to another tangent.
Parallel to another tangent?
Correct.
And which in this instance?
Level of parallel tangents.
Sorry, that's what you think level is? Parallel tangents, that's what you think level is? Are you insane?
Yeah, it is.
Let's just get it in a quote. Just say to me, just tell me in a nice concise quote that level is actually parallel tangents. Can you say that for me in a concise statement, please?
Level is parallel tangents.
No, it isn't.
It's not? Okay.
Wow, that wouldn't fly in my profession.
Citation, please. Let's get a citation for that, Nathan.
Yeah. Have you got something to cite it? That nonsense.
Do you not? Can circular lines be parallel?
Don't ask me a question.
Citation, please.
Do you have a citation for that?
I'm sure I could find one.
Okay. Meanwhile, while you're looking, do you want to read out your citation, please, Paul?
Yes, I will. Level, a horizontal plane or line with respect to the distance above or below a given point, having a flat or even surface without slopes or bumps, given a flat or even surface 2.
Flat and even surface.
Sorry, I didn't hear anything about...
At the same height.
I didn't hear anything about...
Keep reading them. You're looking for the adjectives, not the nouns. Read the adjectives.
Oh, sorry about that. Okay. At the same height as someone or something else. So if I'm looking out over a curve, they're not at the same height as me. They're down over the curve. right?
It's with respect to one another. It's relative to each of those points, one above the other. So if you're going out over a curve, if you are equal distant above that curve, you are level.
You're not
at
talking
any
about.
given point.
Sorry, hold on,
Wait a
Paul.
minute.
Sorry, Paul. Where does it say that? Does it say that in this citation, Paul? What?
No, it says having a flat or even surface without slopes or bumps. So, and it says at the same
Try
height.
the first one, Paul, for crying out loud.
I did say the first one. The first adjective is having a flat or even surface without slopes or bumps.
The true definition is perpendicular to the plumb line. If you need me to find a citation for that, I can.
No, we need parallel. I'm sorry. We need the citation. Don't speak until you bring the citation of your parallel friggin' tangents.
It doesn't say that on this citation that Paul's just read out. You superimposed something it doesn't say there, Zanik, without citation.
I'll read
that's
some.
one definition.
I'll go ahead and read some from Merriam-Webster. Level, to make a line or surface horizontal. Make flat or level. Level synonyms: flat, even, flush, plane. From Merriam-Webster again, level, flat, plane, even, smooth means having a surface without bends or curves. From dictionary.com, having no part higher than another, having a flat or even surface, being in a plane parallel to the plane of the horizon. Level, to make a surface level, even or flat. From Cambridge, level, not rising or falling or higher on one side, but even in all directions, horizontal or flat. Level, something that is level with something else is at the same height. Level, to make a surface flat. Thanks.
Thanks.
So you say at the same height, so that means that parallel would not mean level.
No, not if they're at differing
Parallel
heights.
level.
You could be parallel and at differing heights. So no, it wouldn't fit that description. Correct, Chocolate.
Right. Just making
That's
sure.
why you have to have the perpendicular to the force of down.
Did
Perpendicular
you
to the
give
plumb
the
line.
citation? Hold on a second. Did you give the citation
Force
for
of
that
down.
yet?
Yes. Oh, I didn't put. Hold on. I'll put it in here.
Thank you. Just give him a second.
Force of down.
Hold on, Anon. Good to have you, by the way, Anon.
Wow.
Can somebody in?
Hold on, I have it.
That's my line.
We're waiting for Zanik to post it in Discord. Once he does, can somebody on the Hangout present it, please?
I will. I'm waiting for it to post, so give me a second.
Whoever's making that clicking, presumably Zanik.
Always Zanik.
Hey, Chocolate, look at my screen.
Oh, it's too long. I think I got a warning. Hold on. I'll just get this side.
What am I looking at, Arwen?
This is what Jose is doing a UFO special.
It's called. I'll just post the link. That way you can see the source too.
Can you see it?
Done, Zanik? Just let us know when you've done, so I can get someone in the Hangout to present it. Like Paul's on it already.
Post. Oh, there it is. Got it.
Got it, Paul? Ugh.
Who's chewing their microphone?
Zanik, I just need you to say yes. I've posted it.
I posted it.
Thank you.
Is it from mathematics called tangent line to level curve? Is that it?
Yes.
Sorry, we're looking for level. Not
Level.
tangent line to level curve of function at point. That's not level, is it? That's tangent line to level curve of function at point.
Wait a second. A level curve?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
What What the hell?
It's
be a non-
bandy
a
and
non-
flat at the same time.
Somebody going to read this, please? Anybody?
Zanuck, I've got it up, so you can read. You can read it, Zanuck, if you want to. I've got it up on the screen.
Like I
I'll let
couldn't
you
get
read
a
it
bouncy
since
ball. Can I speak? You can't get a bouncy ball and put like a plank on it, make a tangent and say that's level because it's not plumb line to the tangent.
Well, no, because it's not level. A ball isn't level, you moron. Do you want to read out your citation, please? Do you think I can't believe I've just said what you've just said. You've just said if I put a tangent line on a ball, right, you're not going to get level off a ball ever.
Well, unless you're plumb line to down, right? Your plumb line down is perpendicular to that tangent.
Sorry, I didn't ask for perpendicular to a tangent. I'll say again. You will never acquire level from a ball.
Well, that's why they're trying to say that level is curved now, so that you can have a level ball. That's the whole purpose of this nonsense that we're going through.
You can't have a level ball. What is wrong with you, Zanuck? You can't have a level ball.
Why
You
not?
can have level points on the ball. If you want to fly level, you will be plumb line perpendicular to plumb line all the way around it.
That's not what level is.
Level.
Are you going to read this
Level.
citation? This is your citation for that.
Perpendicular to the plumb
This is
line.
your citation. Are you going to read it for that assertion that you've just made again, rather than reading the citation? You're going to assert it 5 more times?
I'll get one that's in a little better English. It's easy to read. Hold on.
Let's face the facts here. It's just going to be reified into a sphere. That's all. Because I can achieve level.
I'm not
doing
proving
what Janik said.
sphere.
Off
I'm
the
just
plumb
proving that
line.
you can have level, whether it be flat or round. You can have level as long as it's perpendicular to the plumb line. As long as your direction, the tangent or the direction, is perpendicular to the plumb line at all points, you are level.
I've heard that 4 times. This is your citation. Are you going to read your citation or just continually reassert your baseless assertion? Let's see if your citation backs that which you have just asserted for the 4th time.
I'm not talking about any assertions.
There's a citation on screen. You've given us it. Now you don't seem to want to talk about it. You're going to read it out? Give us the bit that backs your fundy assertion or not?
This friggin' blog.
Hold on. Is he going to read it or what?
What, the blog post?
I got a better one here. It has some math in here. Let me get the math out of it and put this one on here. Hold on.
Why are you still... What the hell? You've given us this. Just direct us to the part of the citation you've given us already, that we've gone to the effort after listening to your bloody horrendous tapping and clicking. We've got it. It's on screen. Just take me to the part that backs that crap that you've just spewed.
I know you don't like math, so I want to get something more simple for you.
I haven't had anything from this yet.
Yeah, from your
The
blog.
second paragraph.
Read it then. Danik, this is your
Who's making the
moment.
tapping noises in the background?
It's just tapping on his
What's
keyboard.
that?
You've given us a citation. You've said second paragraph. Do you want to read out the paragraph?
It's got math. You want me to read numbers and things? I mean, is that gonna
Yeah, read out your citation, please.
help? All right.
Yeah. And it's not a citation either.
Take us to the citation in this reference, please, Sonic, and then read it.
Well, he said it's not a citation. Christian Blatter wrote it, and he's not qualified, I guess. Read it! Okay. It's called the level line, or surface level of F through P. If the change of F of P does not equal 0, then it is neighborhood of U. Such, I mean, why are we going? This is not something you guys can understand. So why are we going through it?
Sorry, are you actually reading it? This is supposed
I'm
to
reading.
be...
I've read it. Yes.
Sorry, and what part of that backs your assertion that level is actually curved?
They're talking about a tangent line on a curve saying that's called the level line or surface or level surface of F.
Sorry, we're talking about level, and you're telling us about how they can calculate curves.
And what lines respect to that curve are called.
So calculating curves then. So this doesn't back your assertion that level's curved. You're detailing how somebody will calculate a curve on a curved surface.
And call a tangent level to that curve.
Yeah. They call it something else that has level in the description, but it's not level. It's calculating a curve.
Okay, now go to the one I actually just posted, which has more more English in it, so you can actually understand what they're saying.
Just read it.
Okay, I'll read it.
Paul, can you bring it up on screen for us, please? Thank you. So that citation was useless.
The
okay,
gradient
moving on
and
to the
the
next useless citation.
It wasn't a citation.
Reference.
It's from Whiteman Education. It's part
Wasn't
of
a reference
citation
either.
from a text.
Hold on.
Hold on, Zanik. That what he provided, that mathematics, that's a blog. It's not a reference or a valid citation. Thanks.
What's the
Continue.
qualification for a citation, QE?
Sorry, I've got your latest.
Can it be from a college? Can it be from a college?
No, I'm not speaking to you,
Okay.
Nathan.
Thank you. I've got your latest post on screen, Zanik. Do you want to read it?
Yes. The fact that the gradient is orthogonal to the level curve comes up again and again. And in fact, the text proves a more complicated version in 3 dimensions. The gradient is orthogonal to the level surface. It is important that we go through the proof as an example. And then they talk about the example. How that tangent is level to the curve. I'll summarize at the end. It says, and we see that the gradient is indeed orthogonal to level curve. For fun, finish the equations of the lines and plot everything. And the tangent and normal lines would be, and it talks about the equation and the values. So that should be an indication that people do talk about level on a curve, or curve lines being level.
That's an oxymoron, you moron.
It's not. Level is
you
just
violated the law.
You can't have a level curve.
Level is perpendicular to the plumb line on the curved surface.
God. You should be. You
don't.
Stop it! You're gonna break John.
You're too funny, Zanik. Level curve, violation of the law of non-contradiction. The two can't mean the same, and you're believing it. You're crazy.
Really? So we fly airplanes over curved surfaces, and we keep the plane level, yet we go over a curve. How's that possible, smart guy?
Say that again?
Lines also move around. And
They
swing
do.
back
Say
and
that
forth.
again?
Every point
why
you
we
move
use
in a
water,
circle,
sir.
the plumb line changes.
That's why
Say
we
that
use
again
water.
about the plane?
It's not why we use water.
Say that
Plumb
again
line
about the
changes
plane?
with every position around a curve.
Say that again
Is
about
Teflon
the
Eraser have
plane?
an argument
He
that's
said
better
you fly
than,
level
hey, try
around
to
the
launch
curve.
some bullshit.
That's what he
We
said.
fly
What?
planes.
Nonsense.
We see the curve
Fuck you.
of the Earth's surface. You can see by the horizon drop, the low level, right? That right there shows you're on a curved surface. And the plumb line changes accordingly. Everywhere you fly, the plumb line straight down if you're flying level. It means you don't gain altitude. It means you don't lose altitude.
It just works out perfect.
Well, it's funny. We don't crash into mountains and, in the ground. We actually can keep planes level by this process and this principle. Yes.
Well, yeah, going over a curved Earth, you would necessarily have to gain altitude, which would
No,
definitely
you
make
don't.
you miss the
You
mountain
don't
more,
gain
wouldn't it?
altitude. That's just it. Altitude is the distance between your plane and the ground. You don't ever change that. Otherwise, you have to have more work done, right? You have to create some more energy to produce that altitude gain. You don't. You fly perfectly level, do not gain altitude, and you follow the curve.
That is crazy.
It's not crazy. That's how you do it. You don't fly. The guy laughing in the background is not flying.
It's okay. The curve is
So-
reified in this
Now,
example.
You can say that we're just fooling ourselves by this surface below us just being totally flat. And that's a valid argument until you start looking at the horizon being lower than the level line. If the horizon is lower than the level line by 3 degrees at 30,000 feet, you have to have a
The
curved surface below
horizon
you.
is an apparent location. It's
Horizon
not
is not a
literal.
real location.
It's not apparent when you have the sun below the
Yes,
level
it
line as
is.
well. So it's not apparent.
Paul,
Yes.
could you go
Yes,
back
it
to your
is.
previous citation of level, please? If you're there.
Let me bring that back up, Chocolate.
If you could, yeah.
Having no part higher than another, having a flat or even surface, being in a plane parallel to the plane of the horizon, horizontal, level, even, or flat.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. The plane of the horizon. Did that sound like it would be
curvature of the horizon.
How do you interpret that?
Interpret
You
what?
laugh
It
about
says,
the
it says it
flat.
right
How do
there,
you
the
interpret the
curvature
plane
of
of
the
the horizon?
horizon.
Hold on. Interpret what? The horizon dip.
No, it says the plane of the horizon,
Yeah,
parallel to the plane of the horizon. Now, when I'm flying and I have a level line, that line looks parallel to a line below it called the horizon.
So
is that line below me, the horizon, actually
not an actual.
That horizon is flat,
the whole
Sanic.
point
That's
of
what we're talking
horizon.
about.
Let me entertain you. Let me entertain your math abilities and say that if the Earth was exactly flat and you had a horizon, which would be the vanishing point in your world, that would be a curved line around you, would it not? Whatever distance you can see, the limit of your angular resolution would be some point out in the distance, and all the way around you, that point would be constant. It'd be a circle.
No, you can't see all around you. I haven't got eyes in the back of my head. I can only see in one direction. So to assert that I should see a curved line all around me would be to assert that I can see behind me. I can't see behind me. My question didn't get answered though. So you talked about the horizon, and I was pointing out that it's a not actual location. So how is this useful for making measurements of anything?
Your point would be it would be all around you. There would be a curve around you. You can see that.
When you're finished and you're prepared to shut up and listen to my reply, let me know.
Go ahead.
That would imply that I've got eyes in the back of my head and can see all around me 360 degrees in a circle, and I can't. I look forward. So to assert that I should be seeing something curving around me when I don't have 360 degree vision is absurd. It also is a red herring because I asked you specifically about that horizon, which is a not actual location, and how this not actual location is useful for measuring anything.
It's useful for measuring the curve of the surface below you because you can compare that to the horizon, the level line, which would be an angular distance, an angular value that you could then calculate what the curve is below you.
Sorry, you're going to be utilizing a not actual position to do these measurements. My question remains unaddressed. How is it useful to utilize a not actual position?
It is a position. It's a position where the sky would meet the Earth's surface.
The sky doesn't meet the Earth's surface. That doesn't happen. That is an arbitrary location where the sky appears to meet the surface. It doesn't, because it's a not actual location. I'll ask and see if he whistles past it again for the third time how it is useful to leverage a not actual location for measurements.
We do know that the moon below the horizon or below the level line would mean that it's somewhere below the moon. Is it not? So
again,
in
third
the world?
red herring in a row. How is, let's speak even slower. How is it useful to leverage a not actual location for measuring things?
Is it on the planet Earth or on the plane Earth? And every single centimeter of this plane Earth is a location somehow. So if it's out there, it's a
Yeah, it's a location because
It's a
anything
location.
there is an atmosphere that is blocking the actual location of this position, this horizon, this physical.
Dumb fuck. It is not an actual location. Simply telling me that it is, and then making the same assertion of a measurement that you'll make based on your assertion that it's an actual location when it's not, isn't addressing my question, Zanik. I'll ask it for a fifth time. Let's see if in this instance, when I repeat the question for a fifth time, he actualises this not actual position. The fallacy of misplaced concretedness. Let's see if he utilises this fallacy this time. How is it useful to leverage a not actual location for measuring things?
Okay, so let's use the moon or the sun as it sets, as that position, that location. That's where we're seeing obstruction, a horizon, in other words. Horizon means obstruction, being hidden from view.
Oh my God.
The horizon means hidden from view. So when that sun hits the horizon, we know that is a physical location because we can, what, Nathan? See it. Now
No, it's not a physical location. It's not
Zanik.
causing obstruction. It's the arbitrary designated position where the sky appears to meet the ground. This is not an actual location, regardless of your description of a sunset. That does not actualize the horizon into a physical location.
If you go
Why
out,
does
Zanik,
this-
on a foggy day, if you go out on a foggy day, the horizon is like 400 feet in front of you. So that tells you that horizon is not an actual location, like Nathan says. It changes depending on lots of things.
That's why you use the sun or the moon set to determine that horizon.
What, that not actual? So you're using the not actual location of the sun in your reified sphere model because you don't have a physical actual location of this celestial body called the sun. It's a not actual location of the sun. So in order to reify the horizon into an actual location, you will use the not actual position of the sun moving behind the not actual position of the horizon to reify the horizon into the leading edge of your sphere to make measurements from this not actual location. Correct?
Yes.
If you can see the sun below the level line, then it has to be curved. That's just the way the surface has to be. How else can you screw that up? Help me out.
What, help you reify a not actual position of a
No,
not
how is it possible that the sun is below the level line at any point in time?
level line?
Perspective,
What
Zanik.
level line?
Perspective.
Let's just talk about the position of the sun.
Apparent. It's
Zanik,
all just appearances. You have no location.
But I'm just sharing something from their own globe model showing that the sun doesn't have an actual position or apparent position.
View, like it could be one thing. That's what he's trying to do.
Arwen was rumpus in you, Paul.
Yeah, didn't hear any of that, Paul.
I said I'm actually sharing from the globe model's own perspective that the sun is an apparent position, not an actual position. So I'm sharing it on the screen now.
Yeah, so he's utilising the not actual position of sun as it moves behind the not actual position of the horizon to allegedly reify the not actual position of the horizon into an actual location so he can reify his sphere model.
Every single square inch, Nathan, is that okay? Every square inch of this planet is a fucking horizon one part of the day. Is that too hard to understand?
No, it depends on from where you're standing, and you can never get to the horizon. You can never get to the horizon, don't you? Or you?
Yes, you're on the horizon right now. You're on tomorrow's horizon.
What was your claim again, Mr. Sweary?
Wow.
Oh, I swear, you swear all the time. You call people dickheads and shit.
Sorry, what was your claim?
There we go. There's the sun setting below the level line. Can you now see how clear my point is? Is it that surface, the dark surface, is the surface of the Earth? There could be some clouds way in the distance, maybe making it artificially higher than it is, but the sun is still clearly seen below level. You cannot have level in something seen below it on a geometric flat surface. It has to be a sphere.
Yeah, when you reify the edge of your sphere into an actual location by utilizing the not actual position of the sun moving behind the not actual position where the sky appears to meet the ground. This is nonsense.
Wow, you just made that up.
Is that not the sun below level that I'm showing you? Or maybe you're doubting the instrument that is not, maybe it's too sloppy, it doesn't quite measure level accurately enough. In which you would then be wrong because it's very accurate and we can prove.
What are you babbling about? You don't have an actual position for the sun to go behind. Why do you keep reifying the not actual position of the horizon into an edge for a not actual position of a sun to move behind?
Somebody said that you were incorrect with your definitions of the apparent sun and the apparent horizon. Who was that? Hello, essay. Who said that?
Was it me?
No. Somebody in Discord said that Nathan was incorrect.
Just get a few Discord rumbles and then no reply. So while you're talking, whoever it was presumably came off mute, talked through you like he's doing now, and then stopped talking when there's a gap left. That's what they do when they don't want to own up.
Who said from Knucklehead Discordia that Nathan was incorrect as he described the apparent sun and the horizon, which by definition is apparent?
Apparent. It is a sun, though, isn't it? Is it a real tangible thing? Or you guys don't know? Never mind.
Who was that?
This is a little special.
The question is, who was that? Tony V. Tony.
Oh my God.
Tony V.
State your name and be recognized, Crayon Muncher.
What's up, Nathan? Hey, I'm just on here messing with you. Come on.
Oh God.
Is it Thrice or Tony? Who's made
Tony V.
Tony. So you disagree? The sun's real.
Sorry, I got UFC. The sun's real. So they're
okay. So I'm just going to, for the audience's benefit, put up the representation as per the heliocentric rhetoric in regards to the position of the sun. According to your own rhetoric, the sun that you see is an apparent position and not an actual position. Were you unaware of this?
The sun's apparent. Or the location of the sun isn't apparent at one point of the day.
So what, you're agreeing with me now?
You don't know.
So you're agreeing with me then?
I'm saying if you're talking about location, okay.
Yeah, that's what he said. Apparent position. Position is location. Yes, that's what he said, and you said he was wrong.
I'm sorry, I can't talk with Huey's on here. Huey, try leaving this.
So are you now agreeing with me? Just asserted that you couldn't do this with QE on here. So I closed down his line and gave you approximately 15 seconds of silence to address what I said. Are you now agreeing with me that the sun's location is a not actual location, as asserted and disagreed with initially by you? Are you now flip-flopping and actually agreeing with me that the sun in your model is a not actual location? Or are you still disagreeing with me? You run away. Seems he's run away.
Or it seems like he's trying to take the call on while he's keeping the microphone on the other side of the bus and replying from like several feet away. That's what it sounded like.
Okie dokie. So it seems he disagreed with my rebuttal to Zanuck in that regard. That he can't use the not actual position of the sun moving behind the not actual position of the horizon as a proof that the horizon is actually a reified edge of a sphere in his model to prove that level isn't curved. It's parallel to his presupposed Earth. No, Zanuck, at the end.
Kind of. Maybe you can
Xanax
post that,
typing
Paul.
away in the chat right now.
No, I think he was actually trying to respond. Yeah, 2 elongated silences for the price of 1. So all of that rumpusing from that chap in Discord was purely because Zanuck had asserted that he could use a not actual location as an actual location based on the movement of a not actual position of the sun behind a not actual position of the horizon. Not proving his claim, neither were his citations.
Can you explain to me how the sun is not in that actual position?
Oh, certainly. I'll put it up for the audience for about the 3rd or 4th time if Paul can just go back to that. There we go. It's described in your rhetoric as a not actual location. The apparent position of the sun.
I see it. Can you where would the level line be on that particular diagram?
Who gives a shit? You've utilised the fallacy of misplaced concretedness on 2 counts. 1, with the not actual location of the sun, and its movement behind the not actual position of the horizon, in order to reify that horizon, a not actual location, into the edge of your presupposed sphere belief. Gonna address that, or ask me where a tangent is on this shit?
Can we demonstrate that much refraction to be able to change the position to that?
It's not my rhetoric! No, I don't buy this crap. This is your rhetoric. You asking me to prove your rhetoric? No take backs. This is your fundy rhetoric, dick brain.
That's a nice assumption that the sun can move and be off by 45 degrees based on atmosphere. All that.
Couldn't give a crap. This is your rhetoric. Don't worry about whether or not I agree with it. You've got to work around it. It's your rhetoric. Don't ask me to prove it. I don't need to. I don't believe any of this horse crap. But it's what you need to work around to make your reification of a not actual location called the horizon to be reified by the not actual position of the sun moving behind it. In your rhetoric. Not mine. I don't need to prove this crap. This is your crap. So at any point will you address the fact that you haven't managed to prove that in actuality a flat level surface is a curved surface because of a justification by way of reification of a sphere edge by utilising a not actual position of the horizon and the not actual location of the sun moving behind it? Ever going to address that, Zanuck? Maybe just another chuckle.
Yeah, I'd love to. So we all know and have heard, if you don't know, here's some information for you, that the sun's actual position versus the apparent position can be off by about a half a degree.
So not very useful for measuring stuff then. Definitely not useful for reifying the position called the horizon into an actual location then. Could be off. I couldn't care less.
They've measured it, how far it's off.
What, the not actual position?
If they measure, hold on, Zanuck. If they measure how much is off, why would they say it's off if they know for how much it's off?
They measure a half a degree off the apparent position. Yes.
Is that everywhere they look at it from on the Earth? It's a half a degree off from all locations?
Depending on atmospheric conditions, yes.
Oh, so it's variable. So this not actual location of the sun could vary with atmospheric conditions, and yet to reify your sphere edge into the not actual position of the horizon, you've got this variable not actual position of the sun moving behind the not actual position of the horizon. How very useful And accurate for measuring things, it's not. Maybe you'd like to address that.
To a half a degree.
Sorry, to a half a degree. What, the not actual position moving behind the not actual location of the horizon is off to within half a degree? That's still not very useful. It's not an actual location. The horizon isn't a position.
Because refraction depends on angle of incidence as well as the change of medium. As you go higher in altitude, you remove that variable, and then you notice the change is not as much. In fact, goes to 0 as you go to very high altitudes.
And that makes the horizon a location, does it?
That makes the horizon location, yes.
No, it doesn't. The horizon is not an actual location. It's the position where the sky appears to meet the ground. Definitely not an actual position. If it was, it wouldn't change with atmosphere. See, where I'm sitting doesn't change when there's fog, because I've got an actual position, unlike the horizon, which could change if you raised in altitude or if there was varying weather conditions. Absolutely useless for measuring things, yet you seem to continually assert that it's an actual location when it's not. You simply don't understand what the horizon is, Zanik.
Oh, I don't understand now.
No, you don't. You are guilty of the fallacy of misplaced concretedness, also known as a reification fallacy, where you reify your belief in a sphere Earth into the not actual location called the horizon. It's not concrete, it's not actual, but you're making it so. A logical fallacy. Reification, Zanik.
No, you use this in your argument all the time.
What, I use the not actual position of the horizon, do I, in my arguments for not actual locations and things moving behind them? No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't do that. You are projecting your ineptitude onto me. You reify your model, another reification fallacy, into this arbitrary position we call the horizon where the sky appears to meet the ground, into your model. You reify it. You misplace concretedness in this not actual location.
And then we do tests like I just showed on the plot again.
Then we whistle past it and tell me about the tests you're going to do on the not actual location you've ignored. What? You're going to whistle past it?
Ignore it. I said as you go up in altitude, that position becomes actual.
Not actual, ever, regardless of altitude and weather conditions. It's not an actual position. I didn't assert that when you raise in altitude, you actualise the horizon. What kind of hearing have you got?
So anything you see is not
you're
actual.
saying if you go high enough, at some point the horizon becomes a real place.
Correct.
Wrong! Not correct, you absolute buffoon. At no point will you actually concrete the horizon into a position. It's not a concrete location. You are guilty of the fallacy of misplaced concretedness, making that which is not actual concrete. At no point in height will the horizon become an actual location, you fundamentalist, globe-worshipping religious zealot.
No normal human being, Nathan, could be this stupid.
Atmospheric optics from the University of British Columbia. Consequently, the sun or any celestial object setting on the horizon will be refracted the largest amount. As mentioned before, the angle of refraction is great enough that an observer can see the sun when it is actually below the horizon. The disk of the sun has an angular distance of about 30 arc minutes, or half a degree. The index of refraction for dry air at sea level is about 1.00 whatever, which means that the amount of refraction in dry air is also quite small, about 39 arc minutes, but enough that as the bottom of the sun's disk is seen to touch the horizon, the top is actually 9 arc minutes below the horizon. Thanks for your. Have a nice day.
And with that, I'll say a huge, massive, enormous thank you to, first and foremost, all of today's debating panel for making this extended after show possible. Also, of course, a massive thank you to all of you in the Nathan Oakley 1980 premiering stream for hopefully smashing the super chat, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and all that good stuff. Be sure to check out nathanoakley.com and the Flat Earth Debate Forum to keep up to date with the community debate. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!